What's going on? What's going on, family? How you guys doing? So what's going on, family? Listen, we are geared up, super excited for this leadership summit today. Just super excited. My team is already on doing what they do best. I'm excited that you guys decided to join us today. So I just kind of want to go ahead and prepare you guys for this call. It's going to be a powerful call. It's really always about learning. It's really always about getting to another level. It's really always about being able to grow in the space that we need to grow. So I'm going to go ahead and kick this thing off. Y'all just run with me. We're going to kick this thing off and get everybody going. So this is it's truly a powerful thing, right? So I want y'all to get your pen and pads, go ahead and take notes wherever you are, whether it be your phone, your laptop, whatever it is, you want to go ahead and gear up to take notes because it is so necessary to participate in this leadership summit because we're able to help you change your life and the lives around you. I'm grateful for you guys joining this journey with us, and I will continue to pour into you as I'm pouring into myself and others pour into me, and bring you guys different types of individuals and different types of topics in which we talk about, and we're pretty strategic. So I'm super excited. Let's go. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you guys doing today? How are you guys doing? Can y'all see me? Can y'all see me? How y'all doing, family? How are you guys today? Look, listen, I heard Deanne saying drop your city in, but go ahead and put energy in the chat box. You know, when I come on, I love that word energy because energy is a really powerful thing that we all should really carry. We all should hold on to. That's the level of how we should live our life. We are on all the platforms. People are logging in from all over the world, and I'm ecstatic, super excited because you guys chose this evening to be with us here at the Leadership Summit. So thank you very much. Go ahead and tag a friend and tag a friend and tag a friend. I always tell everybody, get everyone on the call because this is a call that will help you, your family, your friends, those in their organization to be able to take it to another level, to understand what's happening in their life, what's not happening, what they should do, how they should do it. And we have strategic conversations here, guys. Really, this is what it's about, strategic conversations. And it's been so much happening. And there's so many topics as you guys write in, a lot of the write-ins, the messages, the emails, talk about this, talk about that. Hey, why don't you discuss this type of topic? What's going on in the world today? And I'm big on whatever we discuss needs to be empowering to lives. See, I'm big on that. See, there's a lot of topics, but every topic is not up for a public forum. Let me explain why. There's some topic that brings the wrong energy and cloud over everyone and over their lives and their business and people. we believe sometimes that it's okay to have these type of discussion, but every discussion is not needed to be had in a public forum. See, there's some conversation that you have to have a quiet conversation. Sometimes you have to have a conversation with your maker, with your creator, whoever you believe that to be. For me, my creator is the Most High God. So sometimes you have to have a private conversation. Everything is not for a public forum. So when I hear a lot of the messages, the emails, and different things, I said, okay, what do we want to really address so that we can be strategic about everything? Because in our lives today, we got to be strategic. You know, if some of you caught last week's summit, you know, I started, and I didn't say, I don't want to say finish, because it's the beginning. You know, we talked about women's empowerment, the topic. And the thing there is some folks wrote it to me, said, well, Boston, you didn't say what's happening now. And I smiled, I said, no, because I need you to understand the roots. I need you to understand the seeds that was planted, the fermentation of its beginning before we get to where we are right now. So that was such, in my opinion, it's a topic that's broad. So we are going to continue the women's empowerment topic another time, but there'll be additions to that women's empowerment. There are going to be guests that will be coming on to speak, because I want to make sure you guys understand the roots, because we can't speak on anything that's happening today if we cannot address its history, its birth. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, y'all go ahead and put 1 in the chat. Wherever you're calling in from, type it 1 in the chat. If it makes sense, type 1 in the chat. You got to understand the birth of something so you can understand where it is, its journey, a solution if need be, or the help to allow it to grow. And so that was key for me when I started that conversation, because it was so powerful. And it led me to say, okay, well, what is a segue to talk about, to discuss with everything that folks are writing in on? What is a segue to really discuss in regards to, you start hearing the women empowerment, you start talking about the other topics that we spoke about, thermostat and different things. And, you know, I said, wow, a really good topic among everything everyone is saying. To say, okay, well, wow, I think the topic would be good to understand leadership and following, but from a different standpoint, right? The leader and the follower from a different standpoint, and the follower and the influencer from a different standpoint. So there's 3 components to this. And you know, we talked about leadership already, but there's so much when it comes down to leadership in our lives that we must understand. Okay, so I want to take it from a different standpoint, but on the third standpoint that we will talk on more at a latter date, I want you guys to understand something when we say follower and influencer, right? Follower and influencer, right? As we would know, an influencer is someone who has the power to affect, right, the purchasing decisions of others. An influencer is someone who has the power, right, to affect the purchasing decisions of others. Someone who can influence you to do something that they may want done, but you end up doing it because of their influence, right? When we talk about it from a sense of leadership, but now talking about it from a sense of being an influencer, right? That purchasing power, that make that decision of others. Why? Because of his or her authority. That's the thing with that influencer. Is either with their authority, their knowledge, position, or relationship with their audience. So I'll say this for those who are writing, for those who take notes, right? So that influencer is someone who has the power to affect the purchasing decisions of others because of his or her authority, knowledge, position, a relationship with his or her audience, or that relationship with his or her audience, right? That's really key. And that's because that influencer from the standpoint as influencer, not leadership as influencer, but influencer, a following in a distance niche. It's a niche, right? With whom that individual, he or she, is active. So they have that power within that niche, right, to allow to affect the purchasing power. That's that influencer. But what I want to do, I want to back up, because I want to make sure you guys hold on to that, because that'll be a topic that's coming, right? The topic that's coming. So we were discussing this with my team, and someone said, hey, folks has wrote in about this and wrote in about that. And I said, you know what? I have a great idea on what the summit should really be about, because I think this is so key, right? Now, when you go to leader, he said, leaders matter greatly, right? That's one of the things. Leaders matter greatly. But in search so zealously for better leaders, we tend to lose sight of the people these leaders lead. See, this is why today is so necessary. We tend to lose sight of the people leaders lead. And if you have not heard of the term fellowship or followership, let me put it correctly. If you have not heard of the term followership before, right, or not thought about it before, okay, then you're not alone. It's okay. You're not alone, because most people haven't heard of that term. It usually appears pretty much as a non-word. When documents are spell checked, or you go start looking, you don't see that as a word. When you hear followership, right? It's something, it's often overlooked or forgotten. That's really what's key. So why is followership overlooked, guys? I want you to think about that. And that's the key about when we have these type of forums and this conversation. I want you guys to think, why is followership overlooked? It's an intriguing concept. It intrigued me. So I said, hold on, I got to dig deep. I got to dig deep, because in everything in my life, first I have to learn to follow me. I first had to learn to follow me. See, there's one thing, learning to lead me. I had to learn how to follow me. Ooh, that might have messed somebody up. They're like, how are you learning to follow you? You just said, follow me. How are you learning to follow you? That's right. See, it's one thing leading, trying to learn how to lead you, but then you got to follow you. See, my wife always says something. Sometimes my wife walks in and she's recording me having a conversation with 20 people. And the 20 people is all Boston. She said, this dude is having a conversation with Boston 1, Boston 2, Boston 3. Who are you? She's like, honey, people need to see this. Dude, you got issues, but it's good issues. Because see, here's the thing. See, I have to learn who I am, and then I have to find out who this guy says he is. How is he looking to what he says that he is, right? So see, when you start talking about, wow, lead, then you got to understand, wow, this concept was intriguing to me. See, without followers, would there be leaders? Write that down. You should ask yourself that question. Without followers, would there be leaders? Ask yourself that question. Without followers, would there be leaders? Who would they lead? It's another question for you. Who would they lead? Who would become the leaders if they were not first the followers? Oh my gosh, you need to write this down. Y'all like, man, I'm telling you. I am telling you. See, y'all heard Deanne earlier, but y'all wasn't ready. Y'all ain't ready. I'm telling you. See, you got to first learn how to follow you. So the first one was, right, would there be leaders? The next one is, who would they lead? And the other was, who would become the leaders if they were not first the followers, right? So leadership, guys, and followership is a supportive bond. Leadership and followership is a supportive bond. Now, would you guys understand how important that is? Because we lose our way at times when we are in an organization or we are in a position in our jobs and we start feeling a bit too comfortable or with the people that are ahead of us. And because we feel so comfortable, we tend to deal with them a certain way, forgetting their position, forgetting your position. You got to think about that. Remember, the leadership and the followership is a supportive bond. We got to remember that. Leaders depend on followers and vice versa. That's key for you to understand. Think about it, right? Without without Napoleon's army, Napoleon was just a man with bold ambition. Has anyone ever thought about that? Without his army, he was just a man with bold ambition. So you got to understand that they work hand in hand. It's important for you to know this, because when you want to step into leadership, you have to have known what followership is. See, organizations and projects, they succeed or they fail partly on the basis, ladies and gentlemen, on how well their leaders lead. That's what happens with organizations. But partly also on how well their followers follow. I'm hoping this is talking to somebody. I'm hoping I'm talking to somebody. I don't know if somebody out here needed this beside myself. Because see, I've been studying, and I knew that while I'm studying, I don't know if this ever happened to any one of you, but sometimes I've been given the grace to be able to comprehend and break down as I read and study. I don't have to go back later on. I go back later on to reconfirm what I was breaking down, but I've been given the grace to do that. I don't know if some of you have gone through the situation when you're reading something, you're reading it, but it's whooping you at the same time. You're like, ooh, this thing is talking to me, Patrick. Ooh, what's happening, Andre? This is me. I thought I was reading this just to read, but I'm reading this like somebody sent me to get a beating. This is what was happening to me in my studies. It's according to how a leader lead, but also how well followers follow. So in the words of a renowned project leader, right? Project bosses are not necessarily good leaders. Listen to this. If you're just a project boss, right? Project bosses are not necessarily good leaders. Team members are not necessarily effective followers. You hear that? Team members are not necessarily effective followers. Many bosses couldn't lead a horse to water. Let's be honest. Many subordinates couldn't follow a parade. Let's be honest, guys. Some people, and you know a lot of these people, you guys run into these people, they avoid either role. You ever know those people? They always want to be in the middle. They always want to be in the middle. They don't, nah, I'm good. I don't really want to do that. I got my job. I'm all right. I'm okay. Where they don't want to jump into the role to step up. Or they don't want to recognize that they're in the role of being a follower. Because here's the thing. We all hear the terminology following, and for some reason, we take the negative connotation of follower, not understanding, ladies and gentlemen, not understanding that in order to step in front, you got to first know how to follow. You got to first know how to follow. That is extremely important. So some people avoid that role. Others accept the role, right? And they and even though they accept the role, some of them, they perform poorly. They accept it and say, just thrust myself into it, and they perform poorly. Okay? See, leadership and followership remember, they're closely intertwined. This is what I'm saying to you guys. Effective followers can shape productive leadership behavior, just as effective leaders develop employees into good followers. If you understand, you guys go ahead and put 10. Put 10 in the chat, wherever you guys are calling in from, YouTube, Clubhouse, whatever it is. Put 10. I want to know if you guys are with me, right? I want to know if you guys are with me. because an effective follower can shape that productive leadership, right? And it's the same thing with the leadership, the follower, right? So I want you guys to understand as we go down into this. I'll cut through because I know I want to really give you guys so much. I want to give you guys so much with this, but you got to ask yourself when you're hearing that, when we talk about followership, followers have a responsibility to speak up. Listen to this, right? When leaders do things wrong, followers have a responsibility to speak up when leaders do something wrong. Because remember, right? To be a great leader, you got to be a great follower. So if the leader drops because you've been a great follower and following the blueprint, you can step in to the leadership role. So you have the responsibility as a great follower to speak up when a leader does something wrong. Because with being a great leader, you will respect someone who follows you to speak when you did something that's not in accordance to the leadership that you've been given. So the question that I'm asking you guys, as we're taking this approach to understanding the concept, I'm talking about followers, then the question is, who wants to be a follower? It's a question. Who wants to be a follower? See, this is an obvious question in discussions about increasing performance when it comes down to your workforce, your business. Because the view held when the term followers is used is that followers are submissive. Remember I was just telling you guys that people think of followers, oh, they're submissive and they play a subordinate role. That's the view that first get put on anyone. And this is why it's so amazing that the good book that I study, it says, study to show yourself approved. You know, it also says, be slow to speak, you know, be quick to listen, be slow to speak. We hear something, but we take the negative connotation instead of saying, okay, let me go and study. Let me go and do my research so that I can know how to be effective in my response. So I'm not listening to respond, but I'm listening to understand. Does that make sense? See, when you start talking about followership and you talk about submissive, people here, they said, okay, hey, there are people who somehow view as subpar. They say, oh, they're subpar. You know, you hear that from childhood. You know, people they put, you're just a follower. You're just a follower. We display these things. How many of us have heard that? Right? We display these things and project it, not realizing how powerful the tongue is. But if we only understood that the negative connotation of how we are displaying it, we will then be able to then put out the positive reaction for the information that we actually have studied, that someone will understand that, wow, when I hear follower, I just don't think about it as negative, because there's so many ways for me to first understand. So you start thinking about that, right? You think about military scenarios. Think about our military, first line of defense. Without good followers, the Army could not accomplish their strategic military goals at all. Without good followers, I want y'all to think about that. For those who are saying, oh my gosh, what does this mean? Without good followers, the Army could not. They could not complete those goals. Neither could a sports team win games. If everyone decided to be the coach, can y'all think about that for a second? If everyone on that basketball court decided they're the coach, who's playing the game, guys? Who's playing the game? I want you to think about that. See, each person play a vital role, and that is not what we're taught. That each person plays a vital role in our movement in life. The contribution of all followers who may have different skill sets, period. Because everyone have a different skill set, right? Whether it be sports, in the military, a project that's being worked on in your business, you may have an organization that you're team building, right? Everyone have a different skill set. Always remember this. High quality work cannot get done without good followers. You should write it down. High quality work cannot get done without good followers. This is key for you all to understand. This is important. High quality work cannot get done without good followers. See, when you go back to that job, that supervisor, managerial position, that CEO, the boss, CFO, COO, you have to remember these things. See, we're not speaking on leader, but understand this. A leader must understand the roles of followers, because the leader should have came through being a good follower. He should understand, or she should understand, followership. See, if you have leaders understanding followership, then we will have less control issues and proper laissez-faire type of leadership. I'm hoping somebody with me. See, you cannot understand what the man mopping the floor is really doing when he's mopping, or he get on his knees and he's scrubbing, if all you know about is, guess what? I'm the CEO. I'm the CFO. I fly on the jet. I don't know this. You cannot understand. But see, if you having your CEO position, but was put in a position before the business got filled, the followers came, the employees came, but you have to let the place, make the place look presentable. Then not only you have to be the CEO, you have to make sure that you are the janitor. You have to make sure that you're the guy in the mailroom. You have to make sure that you're the one taking the information up. So guess what? If you understood that position, if you operated in that position, then being the CEO would make you a leader that understands not only leadership, but followership. It would make you a leader that has influence. Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. If y'all are with me, let me know. Type with me. Come on, somebody. If you are with me, let me know. Type with me. See, here's another thing. Why understanding followership is important? Why understanding followership is important? Engagement, right? And there's so much to give you guys. So I already see that this is not a topic that can really be completed today, because there's so much that I want to give you guys. This will really take your business to another level. Why understanding followership is important? Engagement. See, according to researches that they've conducted before, Gallup researches, and I always tell people, I said, guys, you got to study and research and find out what they've done before, right? You got to understand what has been done and what they've done in order to make sure things make sense, right? I think one of the Gallup survey, it says about 150,000 employees. They did that work from 2012. They had done that study all the way up to late 2019. They did the study, and they showed about 18% of employees could be characterized and actively they could be, when they've done the study about them as followership, it shows that these employees was disengaged. They showed them that 18% of them was disengaged. They showed that they weren't really engaged the way they should be in the job. They weren't engaged in whatever the position that they were in full engagement. Most of you already know this, because most of you have been around people who say, girl, I'm just here for the check. Come on, y'all. Somebody tell me, come on, y'all. Am I talking wrong? I'm just here for the check. Listen, you hear, you already, girl, I'm just biding my time. Girl, look, listen, it's all good, girl. Yeah, they pay me well, so that's why I'm here. I want y'all to think about this. The thing about when we speak some things, we got to be so careful, ladies and gentlemen, because even if you believe, listen to this, if you believe that you were just here for that particular situation, you got to first view your situation and then ask that other person. Remember I said, my wife said, oh, he's talking about 20 people. Ask that other you. Got to ask that other you. If I infect my heart that commands all things exterior, I'm gonna say this because I need some of y'all to go deep right now. I'm gonna show you how you bring a shutdown and how you can bring surplus. If they did this study, this Gallup study, right? And if most people are just, I'm just here for the whatever, you got to understand. Did you have a conversation with you thoroughly? You heard that? Did you have a conversation with you thoroughly before you open your mouth to say, I'm just here for the XYZ? Because here's the thing. Where you are, you weren't at one space in time. You were there now because there was some grace given. A door was open for you to get that position. Whether it's a position that you like or not, it is a position, and maybe the position was just given to you for the journey, for the development, for where you're going. But if you skip the step, I don't think y'all ready. I don't think y'all ready. See, if you skip the step of the position that was given to you, and then you speak ill of it because you didn't have that second and third conversation with that other you to say, be slow to speak. That a wise head keepeth a still tongue. That you should know that you yourself can bring destruction to where you're supposed to go. So though we may think it's just words, we love to say it's just word. Girl, I'm just talking. No, you're not just talking. See, the heart, it says thoughts become things. And if he doesn't look at the outward appearance, but he looks at the heart. If you want to talk energy, for those who don't want to talk God, for those who like to talk energy and universe, let me bring you to your level real quick so you understand. You want to talk energy and just universe without the Most High. Let's have that dialogue real quick, okay? Let me make sure you understand who controls the universe and who controls the energy. So let's talk about your energy. When your energy has projected 1 + 1 equals what? Everybody on this call knows this. 2 + 2 equals what? Everybody on this call knows this. 4 + 4 equals what? So let's talk your conversation right now. When your energy is projecting non-satisfactory, when your energy is projecting negativity, when your energy is condescending to the level of which was given to you to take you to another step of energy, what do you believe you're doing to the step above that you should ascertain, but you didn't get there yet? Can somebody type it in the chat for me? Did I go too deep, or did I lose? Did I lose y'all? Are you guys with me? Because if you're with me, let me know that you're with me. If you're with me, let me know that you're with me. I want to make sure that you guys understand how careful we must be when we are saying that, oh, look, now I'm understanding followership. Because you got to understand followership, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have to put the negative connotation to it. You got to know that I am here. Listen to this. This is how you should phrase it. I am here for a time. There is a step that I cannot miss. So though I am here and I feel physically uncomfortable, I know that I must go through this process because what is ahead of me is greater than where I am. I don't think y'all with me. I don't think y'all with me. See, we got to be careful and curve it, because guess what? What's coming is so big. When you understand followership, what's coming is so big. You cannot be the 5-star general. You cannot be the chief commander. You cannot be the head of anything if you don't understand following anything. Woo! You got to understand that. You want to start looking at the head, because you want to start calling yourself, oh, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. Yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there right now. You know that concept we like to talk about, I'm the head and not the tail. How we use the little bits that we think we know because we don't study deep enough to understand that the tail is important too. Is somebody understanding this? The tail is important too. See, there can't be a head with no tail. You start seeing things with head and no tail. Ooh, we in a different dimension, y'all. I don't want to be there. Come on, people. Come on, people. Oh, y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. Y'all thought fire wasn't coming today? You know how we get on this leadership summit? Listen to me. I'm trying to make sure you understand. No matter what country you're in, some of you, you're 5 a.m. right now, and you guys are listening. And I'm grateful, because I want to make sure that when you go out, you understand really what's happening. So we got to be so careful on what we do and how we do it. See, one of the things we got to do, changing the expectations of followers. Changing. This is what I'm talking about. Changing the expectations of followers. See, there was a time, right? There was a time, not too distant past, when followership meant keeping your head down. That there was that time. I know a lot of y'all know that, being quiet and not doing what you were told to do, right? That's, followers were expected to put in honesty a day's work and only speak up when asked. There was that time. There was that time. Absolutely, right? The managers had all the formal authority and power. See, this is no longer the reality in organizations today. This is no longer the time that we're in. See, as there is one time comes another. This is what we must understand. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, look. The blueprint of greatness is all around us. But as I sat with my prophet the other day, there's something that he always says, and I love it. He always says, he said, if people sit still long enough, they sit still and pay attention, they can see the head of their nose. A lot of us don't sit still long enough to realize that we can see. You got this big thing in front of your face and you can't even see it. Because you got to go to the mirror to see it, because you can't even focus. This is where I'm going right now. You can't even sit still long enough to focus, to realize, ooh, the blueprint is around us. It's just as one time comes another. So we got to be so mindful when we are speaking, because you got to know, if I am humble enough, if I understand humility, then I will be able to learn. If I am a student in the journey, then I will be able to learn. If I humble myself, being a student, being teachable, being coachable, then that makes me a good follower. Then that allows me to understand followership. And if I master being a great follower, then what my sights are locked on is leadership. And when I walk into the role of leadership, when I strut into the role of leadership, when I put on the armor of leadership, when I wear me a new robe of leadership, then I will understand every level that comes with leadership, because the journey of leadership begins at followership. Ooh, I don't think y'all ready. See, the journey of leadership begins at followership because the leader had to be grounded and rooted. The leader had to understand what it is to be an oak tree. The leader had to understand that there is a time, there is seasons for all things. And if you haven't gone through the seasons, if you skip the steps, then you know what? You've created erosion in your process. And we all know when erosion happens, that brings destruction to what was planted. So then we have to start again if the opportunity presents itself. We have to start all over again. How many of us are starting over and over and over and over and over again because we did not, care not to take heed to what has happened before, what continues to happen because we're replaying the same thing, doing the same things over and over again. Maybe I've lost somebody. Maybe y'all don't have the energy. If you got the energy, type energy in the chat. If you got the energy, type energy in the chat. If you got the energy, type energy in the chat. Guys, there is so much to this, and I'm not even gonna give you the psychological breakdown of this. I'm just gonna give you guys a couple things real quick because I think this is so big, it's so powerful, and I really just want to really just jump on in here and give you guys what you really need down to the bottom of it and call it a day because honestly, this is so powerful. This is truly so powerful. Now, it is extremely important to understand. It's extremely important to know about what we're talking about right now, okay? It's extremely important to know. Now, there is 5 type of following or followers that I really want to just give to you guys, these followership style that I really want to give to you all so that you guys are able to really utilize it, right? I really want to make sure that you guys have this, and I am going to my notes. I want you guys to bear with me as I go to my notes with this, because this is key for you guys to understand. It's extremely important for you all to understand this type of followership, because if you don't, then it can be a problem, okay? Then it can be a problem. So I'll just give you guys these, and we can discuss the depth of it later. Number 1 is exemplary followership. Exemplary followership. Exemplary followership. Exemplary followership. As you can see that I have, it's really about your notes. It's really about studying, guys. See, it's not you got to study. You got to have the notes. You can't play around. You got to have your notes. Exemplary followership, right? It really ranks high, ladies and gentlemen, in both active engagement and independent critical thinking. That's exemplary followership. It really ranks high. I want to make sure you guys understand that. See, exemplary followers think for themselves. I want y'all to, and this will help you guys right here, would be rooted with your organizations or with your position, your job, if you apply this to your life, right? Exemplary followers think for themselves and are therefore willing to challenge leaders by providing alternative solutions if they disagree with the leader. See, I didn't just say challenge with anger. I said exemplary followers think for themselves and are therefore willing to challenge leaders by providing alternative solutions if they disagree with the leader. Okay? They proactively support organizational goals and leader decisions that are congruent with their beliefs. So this is extremely key for you guys to understand. The exemplary followership. This is important for you to understand, because we've been hearing all our lives, you a follower. Sorry, mothers, I love y'all and fathers on the call. I know some of y'all telling your kids, right? You a follower. That's what we've been saying. See, now you got a smart kid and the mom really learning, and the kid heard that and the kid said, well, Mr. Boston just said, I respectfully, mom, if I may share my thesis with you. He just said that an exemplary follower thinks for themselves and are therefore willing to challenge the leader by providing an alternative solution. So you're not challenging with anger and disrespect or disbelief, but you're challenging by providing an alternative solution. Okay? And I said they proactively support. They proactively support leaders, right? With the leader's goal, as long as it's within their congruent belief. Now, I'll give you guys the next one. I'm not going to go too deep into that one. The next one is conformist followership. Conformist followership. CONFORMIST. Conformist followership. Conformist followership. Conformist followership. And a conformist follower are high in active engagement. They're high in active engagement, but are dependent on critical thinker. But are dependent on critical thinker. Right? That conformist follower, it's like to say, conformist followers are very active doers that unquestionably follow leaders' direction. That's what that means. That conformist followership, right? They follow. They follow the leadership. They just follow. Give you just break it down. Just leave it at that. That conformist follower are very active doers that unquestionably, listen to this, they're unquestionably following the leader. That's really what the conformist followership it does, right? The next one I'll give you really quick is passive followership. Passive followership. Passive followership. Passive followership. Okay? A passive follower are low in active engagement and are dependent on critical thinkers. So they're low. Instead of the conforming being high, they're low. That passive followership. See, I'm giving you guys these things because I'm hoping that when you analyze and talk to your 20 selves, my wife, she's going to laugh when they tell her he really talked about his 20 selves, right? She'd be like, oh, he actually went on air and tell him she got recordings. This dude be singing in the shower and he the lead, he the choir, he the everything, right? You know, listen, guys, see, I am true to who I am. See, I know who I am, but most importantly, I know whose I am. So I got to make sure that I'm always intact, right? So I need you guys, ask yourself as you get these information, wow, am I a passive follower? It says passive followers are low in active engagement and are dependent on critical thinker. So passive followers are referred to as sheep. Passive followers are referred to as sheep. See, this is why we study to show ourselves approved, because when people open their mouth, ladies and gentlemen, you don't get angered when they call you names. You do one of those, put your hand to your head, matrix type of thing and process real quick. And then said, hey, I perceive you really don't understand what you just said to me. If I may, let's have a dialogue really quick. See, because sometimes people talk and don't know what they're saying. And if you feel at the moment to exhaust a little energy, then just blow their mind with knowledge. Listen to what I just said. If you feel like exhausting a little energy, because we're still man, right? We're still flesh. So sometimes, instead of letting the ego go the wrong way, sometimes let knowledge paint the picture. I'm hoping y'all following me, right? The next one, I'm not going to go too deep in passive. I broke it down to you. The next one is alienated followership. Alienated followership. Alienated followership. And alienated followers are highly independent, critical thinkers, but are low in engagement. They're highly independent, critical thinkers, but are low in engagement. They think for themselves, but instead of being positive, like exemplary followers who proactively provide alternative solutions to the leaders, alienated followers are negative, critical skeptics. That's who they are. They normally like to consider themselves mavericks who are willing to oppose management. You know some of them. Oh, we may be some of them. Ooh. Gotta think about that. Gotta really think about that. And a lot of us sometimes follow these individuals. Oh yeah, he's just speaking up the truth. Yeah, he's speaking up the truth. We just jumping in because we some of us just walk in the room. We don't even know what we're walking into. And they'd be like, Miss Thompson, girl, he over there talking and he's speaking the truth. And you heard two things. And you're like, yeah, boy, you go on. How we can walk into danger with no knowledge of what we're walking into. Before we walk in, check the pulse of the room and figure it out. Am I a thermometer or am I a thermostat? Some of y'all probably don't even remember that teaching. If you weren't here for that teaching, find it on YouTube. You'll understand the power of what you have to walk in, decipher, and then say, ooh, one with righteousness can dwell with fools. I got to exempt myself from this now. So I got to do my Michael Jackson moonwalk out of the room. Hey, I need to go to the little girl's room. I need to go, always get you out of the trouble. I need to go to the little boy's room. Always get you out of the trouble. Get out of there quick. And now the last one I'll give you guys is the pragmatic followership. The pragmatic or I should say okay, Pragmatist. Okay, those with this kind of follower style, who they have a moderate level of engagement. They have a moderate level of engagement and portray a moderate level of critical thinking. They have a moderate level of engagement and portray a moderate level of critical thinking. They are uncommitted. They are uncommitted and wait to see, oh, Jesus, this some of y'all gonna get hit right here. They are uncommitted and wait to see where things are going before they take action. Somebody right now got a gut punch out. Oh, boom, bang. I'm telling you. So, with Batman back in the days when you were a youngster, you see the cartoon and they go boom, bang, and they show these little things popping up. This is exactly what this is about. They are uncommitted. Ooh, some of y'all, we know some people. They're uncommitted and wait to see where things are going before they take action. That pragmatic type of individual tend to maintain the status quo and wait for crisis to pass before taking action. They wait for crisis to pass before taking action. They don't even want to get in the mix to come up with solutions. They don't want to get their hands dirty to understand what it is to get dirty. So when they get clean, they will understand the glory in being clean. They just want to stand to the side thinking that they're doing something good because they really believe this. They really believe this, ladies and gentlemen. They really believe this. So this is so necessary on what we're talking about here today. It's so powerful on what we're talking about here today, because you guys got to understand how important it is in everything we do. This is why when you start your day needs to start with power and energy. There is things that you need to do. For many people who are part of my organization and different things that I do, they know that we have daily affirmations. They know that there's a certain level of things that we do to kick the days off. What are some daily affirmations that I always say to people in my business, whether they work for me within finance, banking, real estate, one of my companies, it doesn't matter. They know, listen, we're going to, above all things that you do already, if you step into this ground, or if you know that you should have done it, if we jump on a leadership or team call or organization call, you should first already understand, one, I am so happy and grateful now that I'm going to receive everything I desire. See, that needs to kick it off. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm going to receive everything I desire, because you got to first understand, if you're going to be stepping into some role of leadership, and you got to understand followership. See, one of the next things they have to say is, I am so happy and grateful now that all the right people and opportunities flow to me. I'm so happy and grateful now that all the right people and opportunities flow to me. Because here's the thing. Do not come into my presence, my business, my organization with other individuals who are coming from different walk of life, and you didn't guard yourself and prepare you from not being a hindrance to them and them doing the same for you. Come on, somebody. I'm hoping y'all following me. Come on, somebody. I'm hoping you following me. Because, see, we got to guard ourselves up so that we don't let our mouth bring destruction to where we're going. And lastly, one of the things I tell them to say, I said, look, I am so happy and grateful now that I have made space for them in my life. I am so happy and grateful now that I have made space for them in my life. This is key for us to understand. This is key for us to know. We have to do these things so that we are prepared. And when a lot of the times we say, okay, I need to be prepared for out there. Well, out there need to be prepared for you too. Out there need to be prepared for you too, because you're coming out there with a lot. So you got to make sure that whatever a lot is a good a lot, meaning great energy that you're projecting, that you are a student of the world. You're a student of the position that you're in, that you understand being coachable and teachable, so that when you get in, you fit in and you're humble in the journey. Because once you're humble and you're constantly participating with humility, guess what happens? Notoriety. And when notoriety happens, it brings about what we call favor. See, that's what some of us, we hear favor and we just think it's some magical thing. But favor doesn't come without work. See that, guys? Favor doesn't come without work. Grace isn't given without work. Honor isn't given without work. So we got to understand the role of being an exemplary follower. That we participate, we're able to speak up, giving alternative ideas that will allow growth, that will allow recognition, to realize that I can call on him or her because they questioned this decision, but gave an alternative way that we were able to view. And because I am leading with a laissez-faire type leadership, and I gave them the opportunity to speak up, then guess what? Notoriety is on that person. Favor falls on that person. Grace is given to that person. Then they get the honor of sliding in to leadership. I hope today's summit met you guys where you needed to be met. Because see, some of us are in a journey in our life, our organization, our team, our family, our life, loved ones, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, kids, and sometimes we get lost along the way. And if we don't shake things up, then, ladies and gentlemen, we don't know how to be effective in the community. And in order to be effective in our community, to create change in our community, the change first starts with the person in the mirror. And once the person in the mirror receives, they're able to then create change in their home. Because your home, whether it be you or you in companionship, meaning family, children, it is the first ministry. It is the grounds that must be solid. So then when you go out, you're going out with energy. You're going out with guidance. You're going out with directives. So every step you take, it's ordered effectively because you think about it. And when you think about it, it's graced. So I'm grateful for you guys joining the summit today. Guys, thank you very much. Being patient today, giving me the time to jump on, to just love on you guys. I know that you guys are calling in from all over the world and you didn't have to jump on today, but I greatly thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. It is your energy, your love, your appreciation that allows me and the team to do what we do. I absorb from you guys. I'm a student of life. I'm a student learning from you guys, and I'm able to impart knowledge that was bestowed upon me as I learn. And I'm in all of these teachings and these classroom, I like to call it, during my studies to impart that back upon you all. So true appreciation for your time. For those who showed their camera, I'm loving on you guys because there's something about when you show yourself that the energy that attaches in the universe that hits me will hit you as well, because your camera is not off. You're showing yourself. And that energy is so powerful that it reaches your home. Now, I don't know about some of y'all, but I really want to hear really quick from anyone who has been attending this summit or who might have just attended the summit. How has it been affected to you? Just really quick, anyone, I will give them the opportunity to have an unmute session. Anyone who quickly want to just say, hey, look, how has this summit been affected to you? You guys can really unmute and just say something really quick. Anyone want to jump on in here and just say, how has this summit been affected to you in your life? Jump on in, guys. Let me know who will wish to jump on in and speak really quick. Anyone?
I'll say something real quick. I wanted to say thank you for talking about the process of skipping those steps. A lot of times we get in this like hustle and grind mode. We want to skip steps. We forget about the process. We forget about what we're learning, what we're going through, the hardships and difficulties and that growth phase and what we need to be doing in our role. We forget like I know let me speak for myself. I know sometimes I want to skip steps because if I can't do it perfect, then I'm not going to do it at all. But at the end of the day, that is so important to study and know that and understand who you are so that you can adjust. So thank you for that.
Thank you very much for weighing in on that. I find that it's necessary for us to understand skipping steps is not going to work. Anyone else?
Mr. Foss, this is Patrick. You keep reminding us that we need to stop. It's so easy, when things are happening in your life, you need to step back and try to kind of decrease a little bit, because sometimes it just sometimes when it's hitting you, it's just hitting you so hard. But realizing, reminding us that you were put here for a purpose, that you were given certain graces and you were given certain designs in your life for a reason, and that being small doesn't help you. You're still gonna get hit, but now you're gonna get hit harder because now you're in a much smaller space. You didn't stand up tall where you could kind of maybe brace and take some of that heat off of you. When you're small, you take the brunt just full on, and it kind of knocks it down a little bit. So it reminded me, okay, yeah, I
Well, that's good, Patrick. That's good. Anything that can be done to serve, even if it's one individual, even if it's one individual. You know, a mentor once told me that a man of God went out and preached, and he was excited to preach at the Vatican, and he was just fired up. And there was thousands out there, and he was so studying the word, and he went out there and thinking, yes, oh, I'm fired up, and he gave the word. And then when he thought it was such a powerful word, and when he went backstage, the spirit came to him and said, all that raving, only one person heard you. Only one person heard you. And if it's you who had to be that person that hears my voice today and over the time, Patrick, I say let the word be rooted deep in you, that you are a tree planted by the rivers of water that will bring forth your fruit in your due season. So stay structured and strong and watch what will come out of the greatness of your belief, brother. So I truly appreciate you sharing that word with us. Thank you very much, Patrick. Anyone else wish to weigh on in real quick, guys? Anyone else wish to weigh in and tell me how this is what has it done for their life? I'm great. Thank you very much, brother. I believe is this Jonathan?
Yes, sir.
Jonathan, I appreciate you joining, brother. Truly appreciate you jumping on in here last minute and listening in, because again, if someone can come in and something can take hold, then I am grateful for being used. So thank you very much to you and your beautiful wife. Anyone else that want to weigh on in real quick? I'm fantastic. Yes, ma'am.
Get back on track. Get back on track. Realizing, thank you for helping me to realize the things I do. Like ABC and fantastic. So I got a lot out of that. So taking my notes like my business taught me. I gotta get into action. That's my stopping point. Like where I'm stopping myself and getting into action. So thank you for leadership conference, because every one of them I get some kind of self-development. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Patrice. You do mean a lot to us. We've known you for a while, and to see growth and to see where you are, I'm excited. truly excited. And I'm so appreciative for all of you, just you being transparent. And a lot of times we don't. A lot of us were afraid to be transparent about what's going on in our life. So I'll give a little bit, maybe about another 2 individuals weigh in really quick before we close out, guys. I really appreciate hearing from you guys because it tells us what we need to do and what we need to continue to do. I will definitely want to let you guys know the women's empowerment saga, the edition that will be coming. I will have my amazing wife really lead that segment because I wanted you guys to understand it was the seed that needed to be rooted to understand where it was to where it is now and where it's going. So that's why it's so powerful for me to have started off as a man, a leader in the society, in the community, to talk about the root of it, and then have the women that are empowered jump on in and give us the rest of it. So I'm super excited about that. I just wanted to tell you guys that will be coming up. But anyone else really quickly want to weigh on in before we jump off? Anyone want to quickly weigh on in before we jump off? Anyone else? Anyone else would like to jump on in here?
Especially over time, so it's just like I said, not only because what you say is very true, but just to have somebody that is close to you or somebody that you trust. Just the structure that she wasn't able to teach me. So, being able to hear just another man's perspective in terms of being successful and bringing out the better that there is inside. I really believe that there really is to tell other people, have a certain experience and be able to do that happen. Like I said, education is so sound. I know what these things up. It's just certain checks that I know that when they do research behind what you bring up here. So it's just all the cycle of just evolving. I feel like there's a time and place for everything. Like young lady was saying earlier, you don't want to miss a step because that's so vital to you. So I think the priority, the time is, something to catch up. Because we got to kind of get them. So I want to catch it with these things today. So yeah, I know it's good. So I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Derek. Thank you very much. I mean, sometimes you never know who may be brought to be used to as a vessel to shuttle you along the way, and I'm just truly grateful that the opening that was given, that I was able to fill that opening, and I continue to ask for grace, right? That we can continue to be the ones that's charging forth, serving, right? So I'm grateful that I'm used in that manner. I'm grateful that my wife is used in that manner. I'm grateful that we are put in a place to serve because, a lot of the times when you are pouring out to individuals, you want someone to be able to fill you up as well, brother. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you very much. I did see someone else unmuted before we close out. Is anyone else want to weigh in really quick before we close out? I thought I saw someone else unmuted. Anyone else want to weigh in really quick before we close out? Is there anyone else? Because I thought I saw someone unmuted a while ago. If there's no one else, guys, I'm truly grateful. If there's no one else, thank you, guys. Just truly thank you for jumping on here, for giving us the privilege to pour into you all. It takes work. I believe in work. I believe in getting it done. There is 3-4 letter words that is really common to the world, and we tend to not like some of these words, or maybe one of them, and we take attachment to one of them or more than the other. But there's 3-4 letter words that I tell people you got to look at, and then you got to see how you can master these words, right? One is fear, right? That's a 4-letter word, and a lot of times if care is not taken, we govern our life through fear. And we don't understand that we don't need to run from fear. You embrace the fact that there is fear, and then let your other 4-letter word, which is love, conquer fear, right? Let your other 4-letter word, which is love, conquer fear. Now, how do your other 4-letter word conquer fear? By the third 4-letter word. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. I'll continue to say this so you guys will understand this. You have to put in the work. And once you put in the work, ladies and gentlemen, you will understand that we must embrace something and not fear it, so that we can love. And the work that we put in will bring forth the fruits in its due season. So thank you guys very much for being with us. Thank you guys for honoring the time and the call. I love you guys. There's so much love and so much energy coming from the Boston Leadership Summit team. So much energy coming from my household to yours. I say that as you take this week into your hand, let it be a week of power. Let it be a week that charges you up. Let whatever you come into contact with be affected by the great energy that you will be giving up. Let every of your great thought be projected, and you will see what will come through it right away. Every thought that you have that is of greatness will project greatness in your immediate future. If you believe it, you desire it, your actions will have it come forth. You'll be blessed. Have a fantastic week. A lot of love for you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next side. Let's go. Much love, guys. Type some energy in the chat box, and I'll see you guys later. Love y'all.